Good morning and happy Monday. I want to start off our week by thinking about spiritual gifts. Now, anybody who's ever read any of Paul's writings knows that spiritual gifts was one of his favorite topics. Among other places, he talked about spiritual gifts in both his letter to the Ephesians and his letter to the Romans. Today, we're going to focus on the latter. So check out what Paul says in Romans chapter 12, verses 6 through 8. Paul writes, "In his grace, God has given us different gifts for doing certain things well. So if God has given you the ability to prophesy, speak out with as much faith as God has given you. If your gift is serving others, serve them well. If you are a teacher, teach well. If your gift is to encourage others, be encouraging. If it is giving, give generously. If God has given you leadership ability, take the responsibility seriously. And if you have the gift for showing kindness to others, do it gladly." If you were asked, do humans need God? I'd venture to guess that most of us would answer in the affirmative. Yes, we need God. But what happens when you turn that same question on its head? Does God need us humans? Kind of makes you think, doesn't it? I think we can answer this one in the affirmative as well. God does need us humans. And venturing a step further, I think our Creator created His creation in such a way that, at least in part, is dependent on our cooperation. And having opened a can of worms, let me explain what I mean by that. Our minds, for instance. Does God rely on the cooperation of our minds? God offers us His truth, but His truth can't be known unless we set out to discover it. God relies on us humans to search it out and apply it to our lives. After all, what good is truth if it's not discovered? Also, in order for us humans to reach our full potential, to fulfill the role for which God created us, we must be willing to work. Think about it. Does God build bridges or cathedrals? Does God turn the power of the river into electricity? No. We humans do those things by cooperating with God, by leveraging that which God provides. After all, God fills the mountain with iron ore, but leaves the fabrication of steel girders and the building of train locomotives up to us. God provides the marble, but we humans build the cathedrals. God provides the river's rushing waters, but taming its fury and converting it into electricity, well, that's our job. So you see, God requires the efforts of us, the likeness of His image, in order for the greatness of our God-given potential to be realized. Now, if God has left some things dependent on our thinking and working, then doesn't it follow that there would be things dependent on our praying? How about relationship? God our Father wants to have a relationship with us as children. To have a relationship, you have to be willing to communicate. Praying is communicating. It's talking to and listening to God. So, once again, God needs us. He needs us to accept His offer to be in relationship with Him. Along with thinking and working, praying is one of the ways that we humans cooperate with God. Just a little something to think about as you launch into your week. Stay safe, keep on looking up, keep on loving and caring for one another. God's got this, and we'll see you tomorrow.